Peace and many bright blessings, guys. It's your Queen of Spades coming at you today. And today we're going to get into this reading on Malcolm Jamal Warner. I have some questions surrounding his death, as I feel many of us do. Something just doesn't sit right with me about it. It seems as though on many different news stations, they were reporting mixed information, mixed messages about, what actually happened to him. And so we're going to divine on the situation and find out the answers as much as possible concerning this situation. Whatever we can find out. When I first started with preparing my spiritual tools for this reading, my throat and my nose immediately begin to act up. So may have to stop a couple of times to like sneeze or wet my beak a little bit, just to let y'all know. It has begun. Okay. So, Malcolm Jamal Warner, he was born August 18th, 1970, in Jersey City, New Jersey. And he passed away July 20th, 2025, in Limon, Costa Rica. It says Malcolm Jamal Warner was an American actor, director, producer, musician, and poet. He was best known for his role as Theo Huxtable, on the NBC sitcom The Cosby Show from 1984 to 1992. So I know that's how I grew up knowing him, from The Cosby Show. And then later on, he ended up doing a show with Eddie Griffin. And then he was on a TV sitcom TV series as a doctor. And he played in many different roles along the way in his life. I even had the pleasure of hearing some of his poetry, because when he passed, lots of people started posting, some of his work, some of the things that he enjoyed doing in his free time, like his music and poetry and things of that nature. Even some of his podcasts. So that's heavily floating around the internet. So I had the pleasure of hearing some. He was really good at his craft, naturally, as a Leo man. Like, they excel in everything that they do. But yeah, the Leo man and woman, from my understanding, from those I've observed. So, it says his cause of death is drowning. And I just don't believe that. So, it says that he is survived by his wife, his daughter, his mother, and any other family members. Yeah. He was an upstanding kind of guy. He always played upstanding roles, and always represented himself well as a black man in this society. He never played any like Flemidel clown like roles. Although um, those stories need to be told too, but I applaud him not uh, being made to, fit into a box that they try to desperately, put us all into from time to time. We are multi-dimensional beings, and we can literally be whoever we want to be at any given time. And that just goes without saying. Um, so he literally showed forth and proved this just with his life, just with his presence. And so today we're going to find out what really happened to our brother. Let's see. So I guess the first question I would like to ask is, Ori, did Malcolm Jamal Warner die from drowning? Mm, that's a no, right off the bat. Okay, thank you. You may stop now, please. Okay. Spirit, please show me basically the ins and outs of Malcolm Jamal Warner's personality, please. If this is meant to come out, bring it out again, please. Please show me the ins and outs of his personality. How was he as an individual? Please show me, Spirit. What was Malcolm's personality like? Seemed like a very positive individual. If any cards are meant to come out, please bring them back out again. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so the first card that popped out, the Page of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, the Fool, the King of Swords, and the Strength, which, as you can see, the woman is half lion. Definitely total Leo energy for sure. It was all man, stand up kind of man. Yeah, he was very career orientated. Um, he definitely enjoyed being creative. He was always exploring new beginnings in career, finances, and even education, not just education of himself, but education of himself and others, always looking to school or educate others on the happenings behind the scenes of things I'm hearing. Yeah. Now, the Ace of Swords pops up next. Yeah. He began new beginnings and intellectual clarity concerning the power of truth and decisive action. Yeah. So he started spreading a lot more truth throughout his life, but also more towards the end too. Um, yeah, he was speaking on truthful matters going on in society, but also like behind the scene things. I'm hearing Illuminati. Um, he was exposing, um, yeah, some hidden things slowly but surely, unraveling um, things that he had found out about, things that he found the truth on. He began to uncover it. And yeah, he was so secure within himself. He was like that fool. He just walked off the ledge into whatever he was going after in life, and he landed 10 toes down perfectly every time. Because his movements were always kind of calculated and his plans were well thought out, I'm hearing. So next pops up the King of Swords. Yeah. Generally signifies someone who shows intellectual power, authority, and the ability to think critically and make sound decisions. Yeah, represents a person who is logical, decisive, and able to cut through confusion to find clarity. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Able to approach situations with reason and objectivity. Yeah, that was definitely him. Yes. And he did this all in great strength. He was no punk and he was no pushover. Um, yeah. Yep. Yeah, the strength is a triumphant conclusion to a major life problem. Yeah. Situations or temptations through strength of character. Yeah, his character was often tested. Of course, we didn't know this because this was going on behind the scenes. Um, yeah. Yep. Yeah, determination and power. It's very similar to the chariot, which also shows um, strength, power, and forward movement into whatever you're going towards, um, and strong will as well. And he definitely was that kind of a person. So that was his personality. My nose. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. Whew. Yes, that's the type of person he was. Hmm. Whoa. Okay. Okay. So I didn't even ask a question. These cards just popped out. Um. Hmm. Mm. Okay. The first card that popped up was the Four of Pentacles, then the Tower, then the Ace of Cups, the Lovers, the Two of Cups, and then the Queen of Pentacles is at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Oftentimes, he had a need for stability and control of his life and any life situations. Um, yeah. He resisted anything or anyone trying to move him to change into something he was not. Um, he resisted anyone suggesting or encouraging um, him moving towards paths he did not agree on or that did not resonate with him. Um, this often presented tower moments for him in his life and within his career. Yeah, because the Ace of Cups pops up next, and that has to do with like um, new beginnings and stability of emotions, but also like business ventures. Yeah, emotional fulfillment and rebirth. Uh, Motorcycle confirmation. He was moving fast towards rebirth constantly, reinventing himself, especially as people tried to lock him into a box that he just did not fit into. He resisted arrest. He resisted people putting chains on him or his mind. Um, yeah, so he found himself, though going through a tower moment with these different people, and I'm feeling like it was a group of people, Um, yeah. He was always going towards emotional fulfillment and spiritual rebirth, even when things were not settled in his career department. Yeah. And he drew closer to, his loved ones, his wife, his daughter. Um, yeah, yeah. Which is why the Two of Cups is present, which symbols, emotional fulfillment with a partner. Um, yeah. Harmonious relationship, mutual respect, and potential for deep connection, whether romantic or otherwise. So he always sought out deep connections, never anything surface level or expendable, things that were solid, stabilized. That's what he valued. Um, yeah, okay. And then with the card on the bottom of the deck being the Queen of Pentacles, I feel like this is his wife's energy. Um, or so he felt, which represented, or maybe not. I'm feeling that he was seeking this, he was looking for this within a partnership, though. I'm not sure if his wife presented herself as this energy, but he was looking for a Queen of Pentacles type of woman. Um, Nurturing, practical, abundant in the material world, but also grounded, resourceful nature, um, associated with domesticity, you know, um, being not necessarily just staying home, but being able to maneuver in the home and secure her position with being the woman of the house. Um, yeah, generous, compassionate, but also someone who values self-care and enjoys the finer things in life, like he did as well. Yeah, yeah, that's what he was looking for. He felt like that would be his perfect partner, which, as a Leo, yeah, I would say so. Okay, thank you, Spirit. So my next question is, because I attempted to look up the name of his wife, but it seems as though I cannot find her or her information anywhere, um, which is a little strange, just a little bit. Um, but let's find out. Um, let's find out how Malcolm, um, Jamal Warner, felt towards his wife. What were his most authentic thoughts and feelings towards his wife, Tanisha Torres. Thank you, Spirit. Oy. Okay, so first card that popped up was the Knight of Wands, then the Hanged Man, whoa, then the Four of Cups, the Knight of Swords, the Three of Cups, the Two of Swords, the High Priestess, the Seven of Wands, and then there's the Queen of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. So he was very passionate about his wife. He moved towards her with enthusiasm, passion, and desire for adventure, as you would expect overall with your partner, with your mate. But a lot of times he found himself in hanged man position, just kind of viewing things, sitting back viewing things, not understanding how she was moving, why she was moving a certain way at times. Yeah, and then with the Four of Cups coming up, it's like somebody in deep contemplation. Yeah, introspection, potentially a sense of apathy or dissatisfaction. Wow. He was very passionate about her, but a lot of times he was dissatisfied in how she moved. Wow. Yeah. He felt the need to reevaluate his current situation and even his perspective on it, possibly. Maybe feeling like he was overlooking certain opportunities. No. He felt like she lacked opportunities. Due to self-absorption and a lack of engagement. Yeah, he felt like this was her. He felt like, yeah, he felt like she was in her own world, potentially missing out on opportunities and gifts being offered. Yeah, I'm feeling like he felt like she was not motivated at times. The Three of Cups symbolizes just at least celebrating, friendship and having a community. But the Two of Swords comes up next. And at times, he didn't really know which direction to go in. He didn't know if he should kind of keep on with this or if he should take breaks from it, which he often did take, little breaks. Uh, so I'm hearing from this situation here and there. Um, a lot of times he was kind of left confused. He didn't really know which way to go with this. And then with the high priestess coming up intuitively, he was just feeling like unfulfilled, dissatisfied, feeling like, I don't know, is she the one for me? Because why do I feel this way sometimes? Um, yeah, he wanted victory with her. Seven of Wands. He wanted victory with the Queen of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles. But there was just something with her, energetically, that kind of left him feeling like he didn't really know how to move in this situation. Wow, okay. That makes a lot of sense. Wow, okay. So let's find out. Because I actually saw someone post her picture and her name, and they were saying that they were trying to find her too and information on her, but she was nowhere to be found. And through adequate research, they were able to find this woman that he was married to before his passing, Tanisha Torres. And so let's find out what Tanisha Torres' most authentic thoughts and feelings were towards Malcolm. What was Tanisha Torres's most authentic thoughts and feelings towards Malcolm? Okay, thank you, Spirit. Okay, so the first card that popped up was the Emperor. Kind of looks like him a little bit, actually. When he would have his hair cut low. Then the Nine of Pentacles. Then the Eight of Cups. Queen of Wands. Four of Swords. Nine of Cups. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so, wow. Yeah, she felt like he was definitely emperor status, and that he was very wealthy, with that Nine of Pentacles. It's one of the most ultimate wealth cards in the deck, along with the Ace of Pentacles, which pops up at the end. The Eight of Cups pops up next. Oh, wow. Guys, hold 1 second. Sorry about that. I'm back. My nose. Okay. Eight of Cups pops up next after the Nine of Pentacles. And yeah, it symbolizes someone who's moving on from something that no longer fulfills them, often involving a journey of self discovery and spiritual growth. So at times, she wanted to walk away from this relationship. Yeah, she wanted to walk away from this relationship. She wanted to um, stand as the Queen of Wands. Um, she might be a fire sign as well, I'm not sure. But she definitely wanted to take steps towards her own independence. Um, yeah, represents a confident, independent, and passionate individual, embodying the fire energy of the wand suit. A natural leader full of charisma, and optimism. Encourages you to embrace your authentic self and pursue your goals. Wow. Hmm. She would often withdraw too, just like him. They would withdraw from each other. I wonder, because, like, was she a fire sign too? I don't know. But maybe things got so heated to the point where they didn't see eye to eye on things. And Four of Swords is symbolizing rest, recuperation, reflection, temporary withdrawal from activity to allow for healing and mental clarity. So at times she felt she needed to withdraw from him, like the connection was too much for her. But then she also felt that he was wish fulfillment, and he was very wealthy with the Nine of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. She felt like he was more of a King of Swords type of emperor. Hmm. And I keep hearing competition. I keep hearing competition and conflict. Yes. Um, so maybe she felt the need to compete with him at also wanting to be successful and have, pinnacles all on her own, um, but couldn't reach where he was because he's been literally working on his careers like basically his whole life. So maybe she felt a sense of intimidation by the fact that he was already such a well known and established uh, figure within the black community as an actor, you know, an activist, a Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Oh, wow. Mm. Yeah. Hmm. I'm definitely sensing that there was a little jealousy there. Um, at least that's what's coming to me energetically and intuitively. Um, there was some jealousy there from her towards Malcolm because she wanted to be on the same level as him. I'm feeling like she was creative too. Ooh, wow. Yep. She was creative and she wanted to pursue goals and endeavors as well. I don't know if things just wasn't working out for her like she planned, or if maybe she had higher expectations than what was allowable. Like maybe she wanted to be like on the same level as him, but at the entry level of jump starting her career, if that makes sense. But you can't start off, you know, as, um, as a genius or as a professional just starting off. You work your way up to these things. So, yes, the devil card popped up, the lovers, the chariot, the two of cups, the star, the eight of wands, the ace of wands, the page of swords, the king of wands, the nine of pentacles, the world, four of cups, and then on the bottom of the deck is the tower and the queen of wands. Wow. She was operating from a very low vibrational, energetic standpoint of view. Um, I don't know if I should say this or not, but it just feels like with the Lovers and the Chariot and the Two of Cups that maybe she felt like because they're married and they're literally like sexually intimate and they're together, that she could use that tie and connection to move towards Two of Cups, partnership in business and, emotional stability as well as emotional security, business ship, partnership. Um, a harmonious relationship, mutual respect, potential for deep connection, whether romantic or otherwise. Hmm. But she definitely wanted to be the star of the show. But she was just starting off in whatever she was trying to do. Um, but she wanted victory, an instant victory right away. Yeah. She wanted an instant victory and rapid movement towards this Ace of Wands. Swift action, quick progress. She wanted everything to be quick, everything to happen quickly. Um, New beginnings and potential creative energy. So she was trying to pursue some creative endeavors. Maybe she wanted to be an actress, or maybe it was other um, categories. Like maybe she wanted to be a singer. Maybe she wanted to be a model. I'm not sure, but the star card kind of makes me feel like she wanted to be in the limelight. She wanted to be in the limelight like the King of Wands, who she constantly was watching and keeping an eye on. Wow. Ooh, and she was keeping an eye on his pinnacles. Uh, yeah. She wanted the world with him, but she wanted to have a large piece of it to herself. Um, she wanted what he had, but she wanted it for herself. Um, so a lot of times she was just sitting back watching him become, more and more of the person he's known as to us, um, which made her feel not so good about herself. I keep hearing jealousy, competition. Yeah. Um, Her not being able to be on the level like him and have the accolades that he has and just overall be like him or better than him caused her to have a severe tower moment within herself as the Queen of Wands. Wow. Hmm. Okay. So my next question is, Ori, my question is, did Malcolm Jamal Warner's wife, Tanisha Torres, have anything to do with Malcolm's death? That's a yes. Wow. Wow. Okay. Wow, that's crazy. Which is why the devil popped up. She was in a very low vibration, thinking of how she could get what he has, how she could access what he had worked for his whole career without him being present, I'm hearing. Okay, I'm hearing this was not an accident. This was not an accident. Yeah. Six of Wands. He was being plotted against and stalked. Oh, wow. Nine of Swords. He knew. He felt. Ori, was Malcolm Jamal Warner aware that his wife was plotting against him? Hmm. Yeah. He was aware. He had he had his feelings. He had his inklings. Thank you. He couldn't believe it. He was up in his head about it. It brought him deep anguish and anxiety and grief. He started making a move. Intuitively, he felt like he needed to make certain moves. Yeah, he started moving swift. I saw the High Priestess and the Eight of Wands. He started moving swiftly towards making changes. And, oh, the Six of Wands popped out as well. Yeah, he had victory in the end because he was able to secure what he needed to. Where did that Six of Wands go? It just popped up and then disappeared. Wow. And the Empress popped out. I feel like that's his wife. I'm not sure if she's pregnant or not. But it's giving that she possibly is pregnant. And I'm feeling possibly with with a girl, with a little girl. Could be wrong. If she's pregnant, then she's hiding it for whatever reason, or keeping it close to the vest. Maybe out of protection for herself and the unborn child. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if she is pregnant or not, but the Empress usually symbolizes a woman, who is pregnant. But it doesn't have to necessarily be physically. She could be pregnant with ideas and thoughts. Yeah, she could. Because the Eight of Swords also popped up. Yeah, she knows she self-sabotaged in a major way. Yep. She self-sabotaged her Ace of Pentacles by being involved in this. Yup. She self-sabotaged when she caused the sabotaging of the King of Swords, who was Malcolm. Worry, I have a question. Were there others involved, other than Malcolm's wife with plotting Malcolm's death? Mm, that's a yes. Wow. Mm, mm, mm. Wow. So I'm hearing just like Angie Stone. I'm hearing just like Angie Stone. I'm not sure how this connects or relates. Um, but that's what I heard. Why did they do this? Why did they plot against Malcolm Jamal Warner? Why did they plot his murder? Why did they stalk and follow him and plot against him? Spirit, please show me the energy behind that. Why did they do that? I'm not sure of the ins and outs because I haven't completely submerged myself into the studying of this situation totally and completely. Wow. So I'm hearing when we don't play the game like they want us to play, then they have a major problem with us. There's a major problem that they have when we don't play the game how they want us to play it. And they have this problem with all of us as a people. It could be Malcolm Jamal Warner today and someone else tomorrow. Wow. But we're not the same as we used to be. We are empowered and we are strong. and we are united. The first card that popped out is Temperance, the Hermit, the Hanged Man, the Two of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles, and Justice. Ooh. They plotted against him and caused his murder, his passing. This was a murder plot. They stalked and followed and watched and threatened and bullied and antagonized, I'm hearing. Oh, they took away his way, or they tried to take away his means for being creative and making his money. Guys, let me get my nose under control. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. They hoped that by using these different intimidation mechanisms, that maybe he wouldn't know which way to go, that somehow this would restore the balance of things. This was bigger than him. This was bigger than all of us. They felt like this would restore the balance of things, that somehow by taming him, this would tame all of us. This would keep all of us in their pocket. This would keep all of us from talking out, talking truth about unfair matters. This would stop us from speaking up against things happening behind the scenes. That this would affect his money so badly that he would become their puppet. But he never would. He never would cower down. He didn't sell out. He stood 10 toes deep. And that's why they did it. That's why they did it. They wanted to show him, they wanted to show us, we can just wipe you out if you don't play the game how we want you to play. Yeah. But he will receive justice, because the world knows that he didn't accidentally drown. The world knows that something else happened out there. And you thought that by murdering him, that would shut him up, that would stop him. He's more empowered now than ever as one of our enlightened ancestors now. Thought that by murdering this man and taking him away, that he was one of the ones who, would encourage others to rise up and stand for freedom, justice, and equality within this system, within this world, within all of these different institutions, within this industry. Ori, was Malcolm Jamal Warner's wife an industry plant? That's a yes. Wow. She was literally put in his life to make sure that he stayed under control, but he would not be controlled. He wouldn't bow down. And I'm willing to bet that that caused some of the rift between them as well. And I'm willing to bet that that's what caused them to want to go into isolation, go into themselves and away from each other at times. Um, they don't understand though. Like you don't get to stop this. This is not a one-man show. This is an entire movement. This is an entire vibe. You don't get to stop that. You take one of us, 10,000 more rise up in our places. You will never stop us from being free-minded people. Slavery didn't even stop us. What makes you think that you can? We know that death is not the end of things, that life continues on after death. You can't even scare us with that. This is unbelievable. Yeah, they started to attack his money. They started coming after his, because I wondered why I didn't really see him in shows and stuff anymore. I thought maybe he was just taking a break or a sabbatical. But it's being told and shown to me that this was purposeful, this was intentional, and this was not his choice. They were dangling this like a carrot over him. If you don't do what we say and how we say to do it, then we stop your career. We put a halt in your career. Unbelievable. Wow. And they used his Queen of Pentacles to get to him. Mm. Mm. And now judgment is befalling each and every last one of them involved. You don't get to handle us the way that you're used to handling us. You just take us away and give us a story as to how this happened, and we just believe you and we move on. No, it doesn't work that way. God knows who you are. So he was burdened a little bit towards the end of his life because he was trying to gather all these different things to show people, maybe to put out there, maybe to even bring to his family. Yeah. Yeah. Even after his murder, he is wanting justice. He wants the truth to come out about what happened to him. Wow. So, ooh. I just heard poisoned. Was was Malcolm Jamal Warner poisoned before this so-called accidental drowning occurred? Oh, that's a yes. Wow. Wow. Okay. Which we know that there are many different poisons out there that do many different things. They can cause you to look like like you have pneumonia. Why wouldn't there be poisons out there to make it look like you drowned or stopped breathing, due to an influx in water being in your lungs or your system, if that's the story someone wanted to portray. Wow. So, how can we honor Malcolm's memory moving forward? How can we honor Malcolm's memory moving forward? How can we as a people honor Malcolm Jamal Warner's memory moving forward? Tell us. Tell us. Show us, Spirit. Mm. Thank you, Spirit. There are many of us coming up in the industry in all kinds of ways, whether through singing, acting, modeling. They are watching us all. The High Priestess, the Five of Pentacles, Death and Rebirth, the Four of Wands, the Sun, the Six of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, the Fool, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Page of Swords. We have to use our discernment and intuition. Everything is not as it seems. There is always a way to wherever we're trying to go, we literally have the key. Literally. And we don't even know it. We have the key to open up this door. We have to die unto ourselves and our old ways of thinking and behaving so that we can rebirth and walk into that 1111 portal in order to attain the sun, abundant wealth, love flow, money flow, security, financial stability, happiness, joy, righteousness. Some of us are nostalgic about money matters and having being able to give back to our communities or even to ourselves or our children or our lineage, our legacy. This is coming. This is all coming into fruition. It has no choice but to, which is why they're coming after us one by one. They intend to stop it, but they are too late. Moving forth into calmer waters within our individual lives, being able to walk off the ledge as the fool, having faith in God, that God is leading us exactly where He wants us to go, having faith that whatever moves we're making in this lifetime that God has allowed us to move towards is for the greater good. This will bring us our money flow, our stability financially. They are watching us and God is watching them. We have to understand that the way that we move depends on all of us. It really affects all of us. Malcolm could have selfishly chosen to play their game. No one would have really known unless they decided to spill the beans themselves. But he didn't play their game because the price of being a sellout was far too great. We have to have the strength to move forward into our Ace of Wands, our creative endeavors, but with God on our side, in righteousness, not giving in to the games that they try to play with us within this industry, making them respect us by respecting ourselves first. And that is the message. They will continue to try to come after us. But where two or more are gathered in His name, I am as well, God said. And so every time you come after one of us, thousands, millions will rise in their place. You will never dead this movement, this thought pattern, this school of thought, this way of thinking and living. You will never rid of it. Let's show the world. Let's show them who God really is. Are you ready? I am. Let's follow Malcolm's lead. The Emperor on the bottom of the deck. Even in his death, he's victorious because he didn't sell out. He stood firm and strong, even though that would mean the end of him not being here to see his little girl grow up, to be with his family and friends. He stood strong and proud. Can we do the same? No matter the risk? Can we? I can and will. All that is responsible will pay handsomely. You will suffer. If you don't pay in this lifetime with your life, then your generations after you will pay. And everyone connected in this situation will pay moving forward. I see now how it was connected with Angie Stone. Why I was hearing her name being mentioned. I'm so sorry that happened to you, Malcolm, but we are here now, and we now know the truth. Thank you for being a stand-up type of man and honoring us and gracing us with your presence, and even talking with us and showing us that, just a coin is not enough to sell our souls. Just a quick, award or reward from the hands of someone else who really don't care about us. It's not enough to sell our souls. Thank you for showing us that with your life. Thank you. Ori, does Malcolm Jamal Warner have any other messages for us today? That is a no. Okay, stop please. I have another question. Has Malcolm Jamal Warner crossed over into the spirit realm, Ori? Okay, that is a yes. Thank you. Please stop. I have another question. Is Malcolm Jamal Warner vindicated by this reading today, Ori? That is a yes. Okay. Thank you for tuning into this reading. Thank you for your presence once again, Malcolm Jamal Warner. Guys, please comment down below. Let me know what you think about this reading. Or if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next reading. Peace and blessed be.